Breaking news, a busy morning for firefighters on both sides of the valley. On your right, fire destroys a garage and 2 cars in Chandler. And then on your left, crews working on a house fire in the West Valley that's actually been burning for hours out there.
It's happening in Tolleson near Avondale Boulevard and Southern, and that's where Javier is, live with the latest.
Yeah, good morning. A family of 4 is lucky to make it out of this. Let me show you, because that's all that's left of this home. It looks like it is a complete loss. Now, according to Rural Metro, shortly before 3 o'clock this morning, the homeowner doesn't know how he woke up, but he is lucky he did. He then quickly got the rest of his family out safely. When firefighters got out here, though, they realized the closest fire hydrant was about a quarter of a mile away. The fire was quickly bumped to a first alarm fire. 4 agencies were called out, some bringing their water tenders to assist. Firefighters immediately went defensive, trying to keep it from spreading to other homes. But considering the head start that fire got, the family is lucky they made it out safely.
Very lucky, yeah. And of course, regardless of what happened here, it's always a good time to check those smoke detectors. This homeowner was able to wake up. He was able to get his family out. He's not, again, sure what alerted him to the fire, but it's a good reminder to always have a working smoke detector.
Unfortunately, 4 pets perished in this fire, 2 dogs, 2 cats. The most unlikely of pets to make it out safely, though, was the large desert tortoise. Now fire investigators will try to figure out how this fire started.
Javi, thank you for that. And then another fire happening overnight, this one in Chandler, like we mentioned. Check out the garage and the cars inside it. Absolutely destroyed out there. This near Alma School and Fry. Crews say 3 women lived there, but they all got out in time thanks to smoke detectors. They're still not sure what caused the fire.
It is a good reminder, though, to make sure you check those smoke detectors.
I just changed my battery the other night.
Well, look at you.
Because it woke me up in the middle of the night.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's the worst, right? The worst kind of wake-up call.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of nights ago, I think it might have been tough. Speaking of the worst kinds of wake-up calls, thunder can be so scary to wake up to in the middle of the night. We want to talk about our monsoon chances picking back up again. Does it look like it could get pretty rough out there?
Yeah, absolutely. The next couple of days looks like we're going to be busy. We're going to go right back into the monsoon pattern around here. It's going to start tonight, really picking up across the state. This morning, all is calm, and you're going to head outside this morning to clear skies, but humid conditions. It's quiet across the state, as Doppler 360 shows you. Here's a look at current temperatures. We've got 79 at Maricopa, 78 at Chandler, but still 92 in Scottsdale, 81 right now in Glendale, and 85 in downtown Phoenix, 82 in Mesa. By 10 o'clock, partly cloudy, and 93, 98 by lunchtime. Hot and humid today. For this afternoon, we're going to top out at about 104. There is a chance of storms today. It is about 20% chance, but again, a better chance by tonight and tomorrow morning even. Gina, we could be busy tomorrow morning covering that morning commute if that rain starts early enough.
Okay. Well, you know, I know we're going into the Labor Day weekend. Some people getting a jump on the weekend starting today. So I'm watching not only your commute into town, but out of town right now. We're looking really good. I-17 to the high country, I-10 out to California, the road down to Rocky Point. We're looking good. However, if you're heading in from the west side, we are already easing into the rush hour. If I-10 is your freeway, just know you may see some slow and go conditions anywhere from 83rd Avenue in through about 67th Avenue.
Gina, thank you. Parents expect to see an increased police presence around some Tempe schools this morning.
And that is because they're looking for a man who's been exposing himself to students. Jill Gallis is live outside Marcos Deniza High School, where 2 girls were approached earlier this week.
That's exactly right, Kaylee and Scott. We still don't know exactly who this man is, but police do have a good idea. This is the description that officers have provided of what they believe he looks like based on the girls' descriptions. Now, as you guys mentioned, we are expected to see an increased presence of officers out here patrolling campus today. It is still a little too early to do so, but people are starting to arrive even this early. The parking lot is starting to fill up, and we should start to notice these officers over the next few hours. Let's take a look here. You're looking at a closer look of who officers believe this man is. They're hoping that someone can help identify him for them. Now, this all started Monday afternoon when school got out and 2 girls
were waiting for a ride home outside of the school when they say that all of a sudden a man drove up in his early 20s. He started talking with them when all of a sudden they noticed he was actually exposing himself. And that is when, of course, they went for help. Now, yesterday we were speaking with parents. Here's what one mom had to say about advice she's given her daughter.
I just always instruct my daughter to, stay within campus. I'm always here waiting for her. But if there's ever a time where I'm not here right at 4:30, just to please stay on campus because it's scary.
And that really is the best advice that you can give students. Here's one last look of this man, who they believe he is. Anyone with information is asked to call police. Back to you.
All right, Jill, thank you very much. It's not the only Valley school on alert. Raul H. Castro Middle School sent a letter home to parents Friday after a student was reportedly flashed by another guy. It happened near Pinchot and Earl, and police say the suspect got out of the car and exposed himself. That suspect, described as a dark-skinned Hispanic man in his late 20s or early 30s with short, spiky black hair. Police say he was wearing a red shirt and faded blue jeans. His car, described as a green four-door older model. Phoenix police continue to investigate, and we will let you know as soon as we get more information on that story.
Motions will be heard in the Richard Krisman murder case later today, but the trial itself will resume after Labor Day. Top prosecutor in the murder trial went on the attack against a witness for the defense. Krisman is the former Phoenix police officer accused of murdering an unarmed man back in 2010. He says it was self-defense. Pathologist Dr. Vincent DeMaio testified yesterday, claiming the victim was actually leaning forward when he was shot. He also testified in the George Zimmerman trial. And the retrial of convicted murderer Jodi Arias could be moving out of town if her lawyers get their way. Arias' defense team is asking a judge for a change of venue. They say because of all the media attention, it would be impossible to find a fair and impartial jury for the sentencing retrial. They're also asking the judge ban cameras from the courtroom. The man who served as foreman on the jury that convicted her of first-degree murder wonders if it's the limelight that Arias is looking for in the retrial.
So I don't know what her end game is. I think she's delusional about some things, and maybe she wants to, maybe she does want to stay in the spotlight.
Now, sources tell 3TV that it's Arias who will not accept a plea agreement for life in prison. No word on when the judge will rule on that motion.
It's almost 8 minutes past the hour, and there is more on the immigration debate this morning. Activists are going to gather later today at Congressman Matt Salmon's office in Mesa. They want help to stop a deportation. Raul Mejia has lived in the East Valley since 1997. He's a single father with a 9-year-old son, and he is facing deportation because he is in the U.S. illegally. The groups plan to rally at 10 o'clock this morning.
Go back home!
Go back home! Tensions continue to build during a town hall meeting on immigration reform featuring Arizona Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake. The closed-door meeting had people on both sides of the immigration debate upset that they could not get inside that town hall. McCain and Flake are trying to get support to push comprehensive reform through Congress.
Some good news, come next spring, unmarried Mesa City employees and their significant others will get medical benefits. City outlined the plan last week. Eligibility will be defined by strict criteria, and the program applies to both same-sex and opposite-sex partners. Either way, couples will have to provide affidavits of being in a relationship for a year or more, and they also must provide evidence of financial interdependence, like having both names on a utility bill.
Well, the flames are still burning this morning near Yosemite National Park. So far, that fire remains 20% contained, even as it continues to grow. Look at those flames. That smoky haze has affected air quality as far away as Carson, Nevada. Up close, closer to the front lines here, area residents have a clear view of that firefight and all that's being done to protect them.
It puts you more at ease, definitely. Your stress level goes down, way down, because you can actually see the ridges and the planes dropping, and you know what's going on.
Meanwhile, less than 200 miles away, a grass fire in Fairfield, California has destroyed homes and forced the evacuation of 50 families. The good news in that is that nobody has been reported hurt. Well, the school year is underway at ASU, and one man is doing all he can to protect students from fires on campus. We'll talk more about that when we come back. Plus, one megachurch known for spreading the word, but now it's being accused of spreading an illness. You'll hear more about this.
I'm Tess Raffles. 50% of kids will have a cavity by the time they're 4. When is the right time to get your kid into the dentist? We're going to talk about it. Plus, free dental care starting today. We'll let you know about that too, coming up in a live report.
Well, are you tired of the humidity? I know that I am. Well, we're about to see a good chance of rain around the valley. Get that umbrella ready. I'll let you know when you can expect it coming up.
And at 6:10, we are watching the sun rise. Compliments of Chopper 3 with these live pictures. Hopefully you're waking up with a smile on this hump day. We're back in a moment. Good morning, Arizona.
At 6:13, we are watching your Wednesday morning commute. A live look here at the 202 Red Mountain Freeway. That is the inbound side or the westbound side here at Priest as you make your way into Phoenix. Nice and quiet through North Tempe as well. ASU's first class starts at 7:40, so right around 7 o'clock is when I really expect that 202 traffic to ramp up. Do want to mention that Sky Harbor in the background if you're getting ready to head out on a flight either for business or maybe you're going to start your Labor Day holiday early. No problems across the country. FAA reporting no delays. Let me take you to North Phoenix. We'll start you out in Glendale. We're going to fly you down that Loop 101 eastbound all the way into Scottsdale. Right now, green conditions. Here at that I-17 transition, that's usually where it is busiest on this commute. But right now, as we speak, again, no problems. Though I have to tell you, April, this is the territory for the Deer Valley School District, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale as well. When everybody starts to head to class in the 7 o'clock hour, boy, does that 101 really bog down.
Wow. All right. Good information. Thank you so much, Gina. Well, speaking of heading back to school this morning, if you are getting ready to send your kids out the door for the bus stop, I don't think they're going to need an umbrella this morning. It's very humid, though, out there under mostly clear skies. We've got temperatures valley-wide that are fairly warm in the 80s. Many parts of the valley are in the upper 80s right now. We didn't cool down a whole lot overnight, despite the fact that we do have those clear skies and high humidity. That, unfortunately, is forecast to continue. A higher humidity the next couple of days as more moisture continues to pour into the state. Again, clear skies out there this morning, but what we're watching for what is next, starting tonight, a lot of this deeper monsoon moisture we see here on our water vapor satellite is going to move up into Arizona. We've got a little bit of a Gulf surge forecast along with some moisture from the southeast. Water vapor shows us a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, and there's a lot of it to our south. Forecasting that to move up into Arizona over the next 48 hours. So let's take you through the next couple of days on our Futurecast timeline is here in the corner. Throughout the morning hours, we're going to start to see partly cloudy skies into the afternoon. We're going to top out again in the triple digits today with storms likely across the state, but not necessarily widespread. Still, we could see some storms in the valley this afternoon. It's about a 20% chance, not a great chance. That changes, though, during the overnight hours. We cloud up around here, and we do see a shot at some showers during the overnight and even early morning hours tomorrow morning. We'll bottom out in the low 80s, and those clouds are going to stick around as we go through the day. A high tomorrow in the Flagstaff area in the mid to upper 70s, and the rain really starts to fall, especially areas to our north and to our east up on the rim. I think we're going to stay in the double digits tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers really throughout the day tomorrow. Thunderstorms possible as well. Highs tomorrow in the 90s. Rain chances, they continue into Thursday night and into Friday morning. Again, rainfall totals with this storm could end up being upwards of a couple of inches in spots up on the rim in the valley between about a half an inch to an inch. So today, 20% chance for showers. Still going to be hot and humid. At 102 today, your high in Surprise. 103 in Litchfield Park. In your neighborhood in Glendale, how about 105? 104 for downtown Phoenix. 106 today for Scottsdale and 106 for Ahwatukee as well. Partly sunny skies by this afternoon. 100 for Carefree. 103 today for Mesa, Apache Junction, and Queen Creek, and 104 for Chandler and Gilbert. 105 this afternoon for Tempe. Your 3-day forecast shows this is going to be the warmest day we see in a while. We're also going to see more sunshine today than you're going to see for your Thursday or Friday. Mostly cloudy, chance of showers both days.
April, thank you. It is almost Campus Fire Safety Month, and a father is hoping to bring attention to the issue of campus-related fires at ASU this morning. Since the year 2000, hundreds have died in campus-related fires across the country, and Jim Osborne's son was one of them. He will speak about student safety in front of Taylor Place Dorm in downtown Phoenix this morning at 9:30. Phoenix firefighters will also show a demo of just how quickly smoke can kill someone. A pawn shop employee in Washington being called a hero this morning after safely getting customers out of what could have been a deadly situation. Daniel Finkelstein showed up at this Spokane pawn shop to pick up his paycheck. Instead, he found himself right in the middle of a holdup. He says as he walked up to the door, he heard a gunshot. So he armed himself and went inside, and he kept the gunman's attention just long enough to get the 20 people inside, out of the store, and then backed out of the building to safety himself. And he credits his military and police training for getting through that terrifying experience.
The danger never registered with me. It was, okay, something has to be done. I went in there to make sure my friends and the customers that were in there got out safe.
Good for him. It took 3 hours before the gunman finally surrendered to police.
In Money Matters for you this morning, Burger King's new Fry Burger is making headlines, and yet another delay for the U.S. Airways American Airlines merger. Deborah Costrin joins us live. She's at the New York Stock Exchange this morning.
Well, good morning, Kaylee. Yes, the Justice Department says a trial over its attempt to block the merger of U.S. Air and American's parent company, AMR, should wait until at least March and not start in November, given the complexity of the case. But the carriers say the delay is not reasonable, given that the regulators have been investigating this merger for well over a year. Meantime, American's pilots say they are confident they'll own a stake in the airline after it emerges from bankruptcy. And they are also planning to have a stake of about 13%. In new business, a new business incubator at Gateway Community College is open, aimed at helping students start up businesses and create jobs in the area. Fahrenheit Labs provides work and meeting space and also support like a counselor and access to investors. You can find more information at the Center for Entrepreneurial Innovations website. That is CEIgateway.com. And just as Twitter and the New York Times had parts of their websites hurt by hackers, Homeland Security Chief Janet Napolitano said a major cyber attack on the U.S. is inevitable, and that it would also cause a major disruption to our economy. As for the market, stocks are set to open up just a little bit higher here today. And of course, this is after yesterday's huge drop on tension over possible military action in Syria. Take a look at that. The Dow was down 170 points. And another day and another new fast food item to talk to you about. Burger King is adding a French fry burger, which is a burger topped by fries. AP says it'll be available starting September 1st, though we heard from a viewer who's actually already tried it. They actually say it's pretty good. That's coming from Ohio. 360 calories, if you're wondering there. AP says it will be $1, so they are going to be looking to compete with McDonald's value menu. That's your latest look at business live here at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Deborah Costrin, Bloomberg News, reporting for 3 TV. Kaylee, I guess you could actually just buy your own burger and put the fries in it, but I guess they want to do it for you. I don't know.
Yeah, the convenience factor there. And for $1, bring it. 360 calories? Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Deborah.
I could down 3 or 4 of those.
Fast.
No problem. Hey, there was a travel warning for a popular vacation spot south of here for a lot of folks here in Arizona, but this morning it's changed and we have some good news.
And it has been 50 years since Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech. We have a live report from our nation's capital later this hour.
And then we want to show you some live pictures from Chopper 3 this morning from that first alarm house fire near Tolleson. Boy, the flames have been really difficult for firefighters to put out, but sadly, there is nothing left of that. They're still putting water on it. And we've got more coming up in just a few minutes. Check out this story. A measles outbreak in Texas has been linked to a mega church near Fort Worth. The pastor at the Eagle Mountain International Church has long preached against vaccinations, opting for faith healing. However, a visitor brought a dangerous measles virus from overseas, and that's when 16 cases of the measles originated at the church. including 9 children. Health officials say 11 of the victims have never been vaccinated. So now the pastor is urging members to get vaccinated at a free county clinic. President Obama is still weighing the options about taking action against the Syrian government for allegedly using chemical weapons on its own people. American forces say they are ready to go should the president order an attack. Warships carrying cruise missiles have already moved into the region, and sources say a strike could be carried out within several days.
The president believes, and I believe, that those who use chemical weapons against defenseless men, women, and children should and must be held accountable.
Now, Syria's prime minister says his country is ready to defend itself.
Well, she was just out boogie boarding in Florida, and now the 11-year-old has a shark tooth to prove she was bitten by one. Riley Brehine says she was just knee-deep in the water at Winter Haven Park when the 11-year-old felt something attached to her leg. A few strangers in the area, they jumped in to help her. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors found she was bitten twice. And that's when they found a baby shark tooth in her leg. Riley says it will be a little while before going back into the water.
Because I can feel that memory going through my brain again of being bit by a shark.
Can you even imagine this?
You think you're safe knee deep, huh?
You would think, right? All right. Well, Riley says she's going to hold on to that tooth, obviously to remind her of how lucky she is to be alive.
Man, that is for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we've got an update on a house fire that sent crews from several different fire departments to one part of the West Valley.
Plus election results from the Phoenix City Council, as well as Prescott.
I'm Tess Raffles. Free dental x-rays, free dental care, where you can take your kids starting today. You're going to want to tune in, parents, in a live report.
Well, sometimes serious traffic can make you feel like you're getting your teeth drilled into. We have moved into the rush hour.
Well, all is quiet on the weather front. However, this is going to be changing soon. Are you ready for mostly cloudy skies and maybe a little rain? I'll tell you when you can expect that coming up.
Breaking news to get to if you are just now waking up with us. Several fire departments dealing with a house fire in the West Valley. You're looking at live pictures from Chopper 3 right now. This is happening near Avondale Boulevard and Southern.
Yeah, Javier's been out there all morning long. He's got the very latest. I guess they took care of the flames because there's nothing left, Javi.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is nothing left, but the family is absolutely devastated at the loss of 4 pets. They said the house they can rebuild, but the 2 dogs and the 2 cats that died were like family. According to Rural Metro, they got a call about 3 o'clock this morning after the homeowner, who was a light sleeper, awoke to huge flames ripping through his home. Now, he quickly woke up the rest of the family and got them out of the house. When the fire department arrived, though, they immediately ran into some problems. The closest fire hydrant isn't for about a quarter of a mile away, so they bumped the fire to a first alarm, calling other agencies to assist, and immediately went defensive. Unfortunately, you are seeing the live shot of what's left of this home, and there really is nothing left. It's a complete loss. These live pictures come in courtesy of Chopper 3. Now, the good news is some of the pets were saved. A dog made it out safely, as well as a desert tortoise. Fire investigators are in there, as you can see, trying to figure out how this fire started. The family says that they will have to go stay with some other family members because, as you can see from those live chopper shots, there is nothing left of this home. Back to you guys.
That is really sad.
It is. It's terrible. Thank you, Javi.
Thanks, Javi.
Well, we are off and running on this Wednesday morning. I'm Kaylee O'Kelly.
And I'm Scott Passmore. Let's check in with April and find out what is tracking weather-wise. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, well, we're tracking high humidity again for your hump day. And again, the heat returns too. But we are forecasting some changes for the next 24 hours. So things are about to get interesting around here. Current temperatures as you head out the door. It is 79 in your neighborhood in Chandler and Glendale, 92 in Scottsdale, and 86 at Tempe, 85 in downtown Phoenix, and 81 this morning in Mesa. Later today, Mesa, you're going to take it up to 103. 105 for Glendale and 104 today for Chandler, 105 for Tempe and 104 for downtown Phoenix. Just a slight chance of storms this afternoon, but by tonight and tomorrow, we're about to get busy when it comes to the monsoon. We'll fill you in coming up in your full forecast in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, things are getting busy on the roadways.
Yeah.
It's rush hour.
Yeah, heat on the roadways. That is for sure. West Siders, you're used to an early start to the rush hour. I-10 on the west side, usually the first freeway to move into the rush hour, and it is living up to its reputation this morning. A live look here, I-10, 83rd Avenue on the left-hand side of your screen. That's the inbound side. At this point, you're going to see brake lights starting at about 91st Avenue, continues in through 43rd. Scott?
Gina, thank you. Votes are in for city council elections in Phoenix, and we're looking at candidates facing off in primaries in 2 districts. Let's start with the most closely watched race, the battle for District 6, where newcomer Carlene Keogh Parks tried to unseat incumbent Sal DeCiccio, but it looks like he is going to keep his seat, winning 55% of the vote. District 4, Justin Johnson will face Laura Pastor in a primary. And then another primary showdown in District 8 where Kate Gallego will take on Warren Stewart. And then in District 2, Jim Waring wins with 76% over Virgil Kane's 23%. And for all the latest election results, log on to azfamily.com or any of our mobile apps. And let's take you to Prescott now. It looks like Marlon Kuykendall is headed for his 3rd term in office. In preliminary results, he leads Lindsay Bell, the mayor, at the brunt of some criticism recently over full-time benefits for families who lost loved ones in the Yarnell Hill tragedy.
Well, some kids may dread going to the dentist, but a lot of kids don't go because the parents just can't afford it, and that's why One Valley Dentist is hoping to help lots of families today. Tess joins us live. She's near Shea and 120th Street with ways you can get your child free dental care. Good morning.
Good morning, Kaylee. That's right. You know what? Even x-rays, a lot of people will avoid doing something like that because it is expensive. But a basic cleaning, that's not high on the list, unfortunately, for some parents. And maybe it's because they just don't understand how important dental health care is. And that's why Dr. Lee Weinstein is joining us this morning to talk about how important that is. And in a moment, we'll talk about the free care that you're going to provide. What don't parents get? What is the issue here?
I think there's a lack of understanding that you need to find a dental home by the age of 1. And the pediatricians in the American Academy of Pediatrics are now working together to get that message out to people. And the pediatricians will be the primary care givers temporarily to move them into a dental home.
You have made it a mission to go out to preschools, to elementary schools, to educate kids, especially with being the dental director over at Access. You've seen firsthand how badly kids are not getting dental care. What are the statistics right now?
Statistically, 50% of the kids in the state of Arizona will have some type of decay before the age of 5.
Wow.
There are over 30% of the kids in the state that have never seen a dentist before. So the odds are up there, and we're trying to educate a parent, educate a practitioner, and educate the people to get in, get those services done, take care of your child, and help prevent decay from occurring further on down the line, because it's essential in the overall health of your child.
And that's why over the last 6 years, you've opened up your dental practice here in Scottsdale. 4 times a year, folks, he does this, inviting the community for free dental care. So starting today at 7:30,
correct.
There'll be folks taking your phone, answering calls to schedule appointments. Talk about that real quickly.
Right now, we have served over the population for the last 6 years 500-600 patients that have come in who are, because of the economic times that we have today, who just can't afford to get in to go to the dentist and get that routine care that they need. So we're offering that as a service and to give back to the community, because what goes around comes around. So let's get in, get seen, get taken care of. Let's get one problem off the plate, and we can worry about other things later on. But let's take care of that tooth.
Love
and that
it.
mouth.
Dr. Lee, as they call him, the kids do. Again, it's Dental Associates for kids only. And trust me, when the kids come here, it's actually a really fun place. Really. Kaylee?
You fit pretty well in that chair, my friend. It's pretty cute.
I'm going to take a nap.
I can't say that I blame you, and I can see why you'd be relaxed.
Hot chocolate.
Nice. Thank you. Good
perfect.
stuff out there. Hey, just in time for Labor Day, it's hard to believe it's already here. The State Department is lifting its travel advisory for Rocky Point, Mexico. Puerto Penasco, just a 4-hour drive from the valley, making it the closest beach to us and a popular getaway destination. Basically, the State Department says it's safe if you use some common sense. While you're down there, last year, drug cartel violence prompted the State Department to issue the travel warning. The U.S. now recommending using the border crossing at Lukeville. They also suggest sticking to the main roads and driving during daylight hours only.
50 years ago today, Martin Luther King Jr. spoke at the Lincoln Memorial and told of his dream for America. Now, a half a century later, people will gather there again to remember his words and look ahead to where they could still take this nation. Shannon Travis is in Washington with more on what will happen. Shannon, good morning. I understand people have been lining up and getting ready for this for days.
Scott, good morning. They have been lining up and getting ready for this for days. And just to give you a sense of the preparations, just moments ago, literally, singer LeAnn Rimes just appeared to be doing a mic check, but gave a stirring rendition of Amazing Grace. She's just one of the performers and musicians who's expected to speak. Obviously, the headline of today's event will be President Obama.
It's a day forever etched in American history, sending forth lasting ideas and ideals from a king.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
250,000 people attended. Untold numbers worldwide were inspired. Now, 50 years later, at the same place, some from that generation and newer ones hope to evoke the spirit of that day.
Dr. King took us to another level. This was a high mountain moment of hope.
Then as now, dignitaries from all races and creeds are slated to speak. Oprah Winfrey, LeAnn Rimes, and Jamie Foxx. Civil rights icons like John Lewis and Caroline Kennedy. And presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama, following up a 2011 dedication where the nation's first black president praised the first black man to receive a monument on the Mall.
Without that shining moment, without Dr. King's glorious words, we might not have had the courage to come as far as we have.
Now, not on that list of big-name speakers, no high-profile Republicans are slated to speak. We don't expect any, although an invitation was given to former President George W. Bush, but he had to decline because he's still recovering from that heart procedure he underwent earlier this month. Scott?
Right. Yeah, Shannon, seeing those crowds on that day, the 250,000 people, that is amazing to see. Any idea on how many people will be there today?
Yeah, you're right. Every time you see those images from 1963, it just moves you that so many people were here marching for justice. No firm sense of how many people will show up today. As you could probably tell behind me, it's a little bit of a rainy day, won't dampen the mood. So we're not exactly sure how many people will show up on the Mall, but over the past few days, people have been descending upon Washington to mark the occasion.
Well, it would certainly be something to be there. Shannon Travis, thank you.
Well, it is America's greatest love story captured in a photo. In this one, you see the wife of a legless Marine carrying her husband on her back. That hero is Jesse Cottle, and he lost both of his legs fighting the war in Afghanistan. On his first day of physical therapy to get used to his prosthetic legs, he met a woman named Kelly. They quickly fell in love and got married, and while taking pictures in Idaho, the photographer suggested taking one in the water. Well, Jesse removed his legs and got a piggyback ride from his wife.
Again, just speechless. Having that kind of impact, it's very humbling.
It's just kind of normal for us, but it's cool because I think we represent a lot of people that are going through and a lot of couples that are going through the same thing, and so it's an honor to be able to represent that.
It's a story that gives you goosebumps,
Wow.
doesn't it?
Yes.
And this photo has gone viral with thousands and thousands of hits on Facebook.
What a beautiful couple.
Aren't they just
My goodness.
gorgeous?
That's just amazing. Well, we've been saying it all day. It is home day.
You nailed it.
And one NBA star has made his own version of that very popular Hump Day commercial.
It's great. It just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Makes you chuckle. And then our Arizona Diamondbacks just love to offer thrills. Another extra inning game with a big finish. We have highlights.
Your Hump Day forecast includes some changes coming your way. Get that umbrella handy. I'll tell you why coming up.
Hey, yeah!
Coming up on 6:45. Good morning, Arizona, and good morning, Eastsiders. A live look at the commute out of Ahwatukee. This is the camera at the I-10 US 60 transition. Just to give you a little reference here, that's the on-ramp there at Baseline. But you can see the inbound side here. Right here at the transition, you're going to see a tap of the brake lights, but we haven't quite moved into the rush hour. The entire East Valley Freeway system, not quite there just yet. That's going to change here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm on top of it for you. Hey, out of the west side, though, different story. You're already seeing brake lights back to about 107th Avenue on the I-10, all the way in through about 35th Avenue. In fact, we've got some spots where we're looking at red conditions, which means average speeds below 25 miles an hour. 51, still in green conditions, though. I-17, you get your brake right around Glendale. If we move the maps up, you can see the slowing already starts at about Greenway. 101 eastbound also slow from about I-17 over to Cave Creek. And if I move back just a bit, we are starting to see brake lights here back in Glendale, Peoria as well, from 67th Avenue over to 51st Avenue. You know, I was thinking today, April, not sure what everybody's plans are this afternoon, but I think you need to head to Taco Bell because of the D-backs game.
Free tacos.
Free tacos.
All right. Sounds
good.
good.
Oh, by the way, I have to mention it's between 4 and 6.
Oh, okay. Good idea. Well, you know what? Then you don't have to heat up the kitchen cooking either, because we're looking at a very hot afternoon, which also means you got to keep that in mind. If your kids have some after-school plans for today, we're looking at hot and humid conditions, very similar to what we saw yesterday. There is also a slight chance of storms later today, so keep that in mind. It's about a 20% chance for your Wednesday. Pretty good chance, though, we're going to be pretty hot this afternoon and humid as well. 104 is our afternoon high. Usually we see that between about 3 and 5 p.m. By 7 o'clock, as that sun starts to lower a little bit, we'll see temperatures around 99 degrees. But again, that humidity is heading up. And we see that this morning when we look at our dew point, 60 degrees. Current temperature, 87 degrees. It's not terribly hot, but not really comfortable either. We've still got 40% humidity. We're keeping an eye on dew points across the state, but especially across southern Arizona, where they're still fairly low in spots like Tucson and Sierra Vista, but Yuma, especially 72. We're watching for this Gulf surge to come up, bringing a lot of moisture into the state, and that is the first indication of it when we start to see that dew point in the Yuma area jump. This morning, again, mostly clear skies across the state. We expect them to stay that way for part of the day. By tonight, really is when things start to change. Rain chances increase, that humidity increases. Things are going to cloud up later today. Future counts. Let's take you through this afternoon. By 4 o'clock, chance of storms up on the high country of the rim and also northern Arizona. Southern Arizona will watch for that slight chance that some of those storms could drift into the valley, similar to what they did yesterday afternoon, skirting the far east valley. And then future cast as we get into tomorrow morning shows those clouds starting to thicken up and move in during the overnight hours. There is a chance that we could see some rain even by tomorrow morning. Chances increase as we go throughout the day tomorrow, as you see that coverage increase across the state, particularly to our north and our east. The rim country looks like that's going to be the bullseye for the coming storms in terms of precipitation, but a lot of moisture in the atmosphere the next couple of days. So you're going to feel the humidity. But again, the cloud cover out there is going to keep temperatures cooler along with the rain. There could be a lot of rain from this. It does look like areas up on the rim could get upwards of 2, maybe 3 inches of rain in the next 48 hours between now and 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. The valley's in a spot that is likely going to see somewhere between 1/4 of an inch to 1 inch in some spots. So rain chances again increasing by tonight. Today, slight chance of storms. 104 your high, 81 your overnight low. By tomorrow, we see a 60% chance of storms. And if those showers develop early enough, we might not even make it to 95. But at this point, that's what I'm going to forecast for your Thursday. For your Friday, again, mostly cloudy. We're going to stay in the 90s. Chance of rain continues. It continues on Saturday as well, although it's a slightly lower chance for Saturday. Really just a slight chance for your Sunday and your Labor Day.
All right. Thank you, April. A chance for fans to meet this year's Arizona Cardinals before the season really gets underway. Team's annual kickoff luncheon is today over at University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, and the event will help raise funds for Cardinals charities. That all gets underway at 11:30 this morning. Sounds fun. Speaking of the Cards, they may be shopping running back Ryan Williams to other teams. The second-round pick has spent very little time on the field because of a series of injuries, and it sounds like the coaching staff might prefer the other 4 running backs. Coach Arians says Williams will get a chance to prove himself tomorrow night against Denver.
Well, right now we were blessed with 4 of them, and I don't have any problem putting any of them in the game. And so again, this is a real nice challenge for those young guys, and it's giving Ryan a good opportunity. He'll get the majority of the work to get him back going, and so we have a stable of backs that I'm very, very comfortable with.
Not a bad problem. All right, baseball. Diamondbacks going for the sweep of the Padres tonight after winning another game in extra innings. To Chase Field we go. Ian Kennedy on the mound for San Diego. Remember him? And Parra off the wall out there. Yes. And 2-run score, 6-3 backs. Pods would tie it up not once but twice, including a really nice bunt here by Cedeno to tie the game at 9. Oh, he's safe over there. So let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Aaron Hill. Let's see what he can do. Would you look at that? Yes, out off the wall. And by golly, we got another walk-off, number 11 on the season for the Backs. They went at 10-9. And Kaylee, I ask you, what day is it?
Hump day!
Yeah!
Which leads us into our next story. It is upbeat, and it usually helps us kick off Wednesday morning with a giggle or two. It's that Geico commercial with the camel. Happy about?
Hump day!
Okay, so is former NBA MVP Dirk Nowitzki. The Dallas Mavs star has come up with his own version of that popular ad.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is, huh? Anybody? Kayla, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Champ, 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 champ. What day is it, champ? Hey, Cash, guess what the day is?
It's game day.
What?
Nice. Very nice.
So as you just heard, instead of hump day, it's game day. What? The Mavs are using this ad to sell more tickets for the upcoming season. It does help you get through the middle of the week. Strutting like a camel. There he goes.
I love it. Hey, what shark handlers at one aquarium have to do when making room for other sharks?
That would be a tough job to have, right? You hop in the Shark Tank. And then a ride to the park gets dangerous for one guy when his dog gets impatient.
And then I asked for K-State to be mentioned in the newscast, and by God, it happened. You're looking at live pictures of University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, of course, home of the Cardinals, but also where K-State played Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. I won't mention that.
I was going to say.
We got killed, but that's another story.
Who remembers that part?
Yeah.
Kind of happens when Oregon plays most teams. We're back in a moment. Good morning, Arizona.
Here we go. Workers at the South Carolina Aquarium had a very delicate job. In order to make room for more sharks for a new exhibit, they had to move 4 smaller ones from a holding pool on the 3rd floor to a pool down on the ground floor. And after a few trips up and down the building, and we don't mean trips as in falling down, everybody made the journey safely.
My gosh. Did you ever have a dog that was so excited to go for a walk or go anywhere?
Always.
Grab the leash
Oh,
and the
yeah.
little tail goes. You
Yeah.
could literally see the dog smile,
Love
right?
that, yeah.
There was one that was so excited, he put the pedal to the metal, literally.
Gio and 91-year-old Vic Vickers got in their SUV to go to the park, and that's when the pup jumped onto the accelerator.
Go, Dad!
Sending the two right through a fence. Oh, no. They careened down the road that led to the park and ended up in the nearby creek.
Oh, my gosh. Well, amazingly, the injuries suffered, the only ones, by the speedy pair, just a few scratches on Vickers. And besides, what's a wrecked SUV between friends?
And I love him, and it's not his fault. He didn't know what he was doing.
So sweet, right? And one thing...
Dog looks so innocent.
Doesn't he? Yeah, they master that. They know how to look at you like, what? I didn't do that.
Not my fault.
His dog obviously likes going to the park. Maybe he needed to get there to see his girlfriend.
Although, yeah, maybe so. It does sound like a good excuse from now on if you ever bump into... My dog jumped on the accelerator.
It was not my fault, officer. I'm sorry.
All right, more on the search for a man accused of flashing outside of Tempe High School.
And then we will have a live report on that house fire in the West Valley. Several agencies teaming up to put this one out.